The Samoa versus Fiji is nearly here for the Pacific Nations Cup 2023, and in this preview we will be looking through at the lineups. We will be looking at the previous fixture that both of these sides played last week, and also a prediction for who we think will be walking away with the victory. But first of all, looking through at the lineups. Now, Fiji and Samoa both making quite a few changes in their starting lineups and reserves for this contest. It's going to be exciting to see some new players in action for Fiji. They have got Dirialangi making his debut. Also alongside him, Vilive Mera. We got to see both of those players in action for the Fijian draw. Throughout Super Rugby Pacific, Osefo Masi and Eliza Druasisi, two men in the backline making their debut. Also both draw boys. And then Joe Tamani off the bench, another Fijian draw player. And I have to say, it's absolutely awesome seeing all of these new players getting the chance for their international side. The midfield combination of Semi Radradra as the captain alongside Osefo Masi, I think will be a must-see combination in this game for Fiji, mainly because of the impact that we saw from Semi Radradra last week in the game up against Tonga. It was very obvious as soon as he made his way onto the field. Fiji just seemed to step up that gear that little bit more, and it could be an awesome combo to watch for this game. For the Samoans, they too have a few debuts that will be taking place. Only the one in the starting lineup, although it doesn't feel like a debut, seeing as we've seen this man at international level before. Stephen Luatua, a brilliant player for the Bristol Bears, has been playing extremely well for a very long time, and to see him in the starting side alongside some brilliant Samoan players, even in that loose forward trio, it is going to be Luatua, Jack Lamb at 7, and then Fritzley the skipper at number 8. It's going to be physical throughout this game. We know that both of these sides are going to be bringing everything, as whoever wins this game has a very good shot of winning the Pacific Nations Cup. Off the bench, they have got Malani Matavao. I've mentioned him a few times for the Samoans, but it's great to see the Sevens boys getting the chance at 15s. I think he could be a real impact player in this contest. But the previous fixture for both of these two sides in the first week of the Pacific Nations Cup, we saw Fiji go one-on-one with Tonga. Now the end score was 36 points to 20 in favour of the Fijians, but they were 19-0 up after only about 12 to 13 minutes. They were applying a lot of early pressure, managed to get Tonga a yellow card early due to them collapsing a rolling maul. And then from there, Fiji, the first try they scored was a penalty try, and then they also had a try scored by a back and then a forward in the first moments of the game. But I believe that Fiji will be looking to start this game quickly, just like they did up against Tonga. One aspect of their game that I think they will need to work on compared to that last week's fixture is going to be that rolling maul defence, because that was the one spot on the field it seemed like Tonga could actually hurt the Fijians. Other than that, they look pretty safe. Their discipline maybe a little bit could be improved on, but if they can defend that rolling maul of Samoa, they could find themselves having a very good day at the office. For the Samoans, they had their thriller up against Japan. They were playing in Japan as well, so away from home, they won it 24 points to 22. Throughout that game, there was some brilliant kicking from Christian Lealiafano, getting 100% for the kicking accuracy. We saw a huge amount of handling errors from Samoa. I believe something along the lines of 14, which is just a little bit too high, unfortunately, for them, and they definitely cannot afford to give the ball to Fiji 14 times extra throughout this game. Their scrum was very solid though, Samoa. So even if there is a knock-on, they won't completely dislike it, mainly because they have got that big 4-pack up front to help put a little bit of an extra shove in. But for Samoa, when we saw them using that back line and when they were able to hang on to that ball, it was proving effective. They've got some big boys in that 4-pack, like I mentioned, and just getting those pick and goes around the side of the breakdown, hitting it up with the forwards. They were finding a lot of extra meters that they may not have made elsewhere. So I enjoy the idea of these two sides going head-to-head, mainly because it's just two bulldozers going straight at each other. There's going to be some massive hits, there are going to be some thrilling tries, and there's going to be plenty of exciting action throughout the 80 minutes. The other game that has taken place for the Pacific Nations Cup, it will be Tonga versus Japan, the two sides who did pick up losses in the first round of the competition, and whoever wins that game sets himself up that little bit better for the games next week that will be taking place. But for me in this game, I was curious to see what the odds were sitting at. So I looked at them on the New Zealand TAB, and it is slightly surprising, but not completely out of the blue. It is the fact that Samoa, they come in as favourites for this game. With it being a home contest, after beating Japan, getting themselves in the top 10 in the world rankings, they come in as a $1.70 favourite in this match up against Fiji, whereas the Fijians, they are slight underdogs, $2.20, so not a huge difference between the two teams. But I'm hoping it is going to be a relatively close game. I feel like if this game has less handling errors and less penalties conceded compared to the two games that we saw in the first round of the Pacific Nations Cup, it's going to be a very entertaining one, and I'm thoroughly looking forward to commentating it. But now we are at that stage that I normally get wrong, and that is the prediction of who I think will be able to walk away with the victory in this contest. Now, Samoa, they played very well at times up against the Japanese. The handling was the thing that did let them down. Fiji, they played very well up against Tonga at times. But then it was that rolling maul defence that let them down. Overall, though, pretty solid in the way that they were able to defend outside of that rolling maul scenario, though. So this is a hard game to pick. Whoever I go with, I know the other team's going to win, mainly because anytime these two sides play each other in sevens, I predict a team to win, and they lose. So this might be the same with Rugby Union here, when these two Pacific Island sides go head to head, but I'm going to say with the home field advantage, it's going to help Samoa quite a bit. But I still think with this Fijian side, the amount of Fijian draw players we're getting to see added in, I know that they had a terrific season, although the games that Fijian draw were winning, a majority of them, if not all of them, were home games. Whereas this game's taken place in Samoa. I'm thinking back to that game between the Fijian draw and Moana Pacifica, where we had about 100 points scored between the two sides. But in the end, the Fijian draw were able to get themselves the victory. So I'm going to say Fiji win this game 29 points to 25. I'm going to go with now. Is it going to be correct? No. Is it going to be close? Probably not. But hopefully, it's not a mile off, and we're at least somewhere in the ballpark. I wouldn't be surprised if Samoa win this game, though, with the momentum they've been able to create after beating the Japanese. It's just both sides making quite a few changes. I feel like that will impact the way that they play, and Fiji, with the changes that they've made, I just give them that little tiny edge, just a little bit, in this matchup. But nonetheless, do let me know, ladies and gentlemen, who you think will be walking away with the victory in this matchup. It is taking place at 2 p.m. New Zealand time on Saturday. I believe yesterday I said it was at 3 p.m, but that was Samoan local time that it was taking place. We will be doing the live commentary on the channel, so if you are keen on hearing what is happening in this matchup, be sure to check that out as well. But thank you all very much for tuning in. If you did enjoy, be sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. I will see you all for the next one.